Hey friend, it's Matt Potratz back with you again. It blows my mind that we're well into November already. Christmas will be here before we know it. This week I pondered a bit on intentionality. I've addressed this topic before, but there's more to look at here than one blog could ever cover. I think intentionality can be a deciding factor in the course of a person's life and whether we succeed or tread water. Floating through life and taking it as it comes is not a personality type. It's a poor choice. You can't always dictate what life throws at you, and sometimes you have to roll with the punches. I understand that. However, although you can't always control the way the ball comes off the bat, you can control your field position and the condition of your mitt to field it. You can also control the amount of time you've invested to condition yourself to field it well. Be intentional. The only thing in life that you don't need to be intentional about is death. You're going to die someday. You don't need to do anything to ensure that event will happen. It will. However, everything else in life requires intentionality. If I want to climb a set of stairs, I can sit at the bottom and try to wish my way up them. But until I intentionally place the first foot on the first step and continue on from there, nothing will happen. The same is true in marriages, relationships with children, in the workplace, and even sports, hobbies, and interests. If you're not intentional, none of what you do will be productive. Be intentional in loving your spouse in a way that communicates love to him or her. Learn their love language. The same is true for children. I have 3 boys, and I love them all 3 differently. Not in terms of depth, but in terms of channels, because they all 3 have different love languages. On the work front, be intentional about showing up on time, being mentally prepared, meeting or exceeding the requirements of your job description, and intentionally do your part to better the company. When I was in college, I worked summers on a college hire program at a local plywood plant. One of my main positions was a job called Green End Utilities. Part of the route that I would cover on each shift took me up on the roof and down the length of the mill, checking some gauges and vents. One time when on graveyard shift, I stumbled upon a guy from the maintenance crew who was sleeping on the roof. He assured me that it was fine because he had his radio loud enough to hear if they needed him. I'm sure you won't argue that he was being intentional, but intentionally doing the wrong thing. A nap on the roof was not part of his job description. In my line of work today, there's no set schedule, no clock, and no supervisor. So in all actuality, a day off requires intentionality. I went a long time without setting aside a day off, so I did at least some form of work every day, 7 days a week. One of my mentors challenged me to take 2 days off each week. When he saw the look on my face, he said, "Okay, I challenge you to start with 1. So he checks up on me now to hold me accountable to take a day off. And I'm learning that if I'm intentional, not only in setting that day aside, but planning a non-work activity for that day, it ensures that I truly do get a day off. I encourage you married couples to be intentional about still dating. Set aside a couple of date nights every month and follow through with them. It will be a bit of a burden at first, trying to find the time, but you'll soon find yourself looking forward to those nights together. Take it from a guy who's divorced. If you're not intentional in keeping it together, it will fall apart. In your daily interactions, be intentional about building meaningful relationships. Don't get too busy or consumed with your own agenda that you never get past surface level with anyone. You don't want to be the man or woman who dies with hundreds of acquaintances and few, if any, real relationships. Be intentional in choosing which acquaintances should move toward friendship or business partnership, and be intentional in seeing it through to that level. I could literally write a book on this topic, but I can bet you're getting this. And I'm also confident that some areas of your life are popping into your mind that lack intentionality. I know that was the case with myself, even as I wrote this. Let's care enough about the course of our lives to be intentional. Be specific. Make plans. Follow through. Keep your commitments. Work hard. Be intentional.